So, yeah, I'm starting in the first book of Samuel. Should be page 413. And he said, I'm going to read this commentary outline. 1 and 2 Samuel are most concerned with the reigns of King Saul and King David. The date of David's accession to the throne at approximately 10,000 BC, so that the books of 1 and 2 Samuel cover the period of time from about 1050 BC to 960 BC. Saul and David each reigned for 40 years. Taken in conjunction, these two books demonstrate the contrast between Saul and David. Saul began well and piously, and in some respects was an able ruler, keeping the enemy and Philistines at bay for most of his reign, but the end he ended poorly, having forsaken the path of strict obedience to God's commands, and he ended his life in suicide. David, always a man of battle and sometimes lapsing temporarily from obedience to God, nothing less repented of his sins and began with God's blessing. A golden age of Israel glory. God selected David's dynasty to continue on the throne of Israel forever, culminating eventually in the reign of Jesus Christ. An outline is Eli serving as priest and judge. 2. Samuel as leader of Israel. And 3. Saul, the first king of Israel. Now there was a certain man, Ramatham, Zophim, of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Toho, the son of Zuph, and the self an Ephrathite. He had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of the city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the only two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priest of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah. But the Lord had shut up her womb, and her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. Then Elkanah, her husband, and said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieveth? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a host of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the afflictions of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come up on his head. And it came to pass as she continued praying before the Lord that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spoke in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken, here art thou. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thy handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way, and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early, and worshipped before the Lord, and returned, and came to their house to Ramah, and Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked of him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. And Elkanah her husband said unto her, Do what seemeth thee good, tarry until thou have weaned him. Only the Lord established his word. So the woman abode, and gave her son suck until she had weaned him. She took him up with her, with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young, and they slew a bullock, and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord, and to worship the Lord there. Like I've said before, mostly prophets were brought up as prophets from to the old. They were old enough to almost walk, probably. We've constantly had prophets, and they grew up that way. They were trained to be prophets to start with. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoices in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord, and my mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee, neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more, for exceedingly proudly let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bowels of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumble are girded with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that they were hungry ceased, so that the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set him among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall be thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the child did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Beliah, they knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was in seething with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand. And he struck it into the pan of kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also therefore they burnt the fat, the priest's servant, came and said to the man that sacrifice, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. And if any man said unto him, let him not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth, then he would answer him, Nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force. Wherefore sin of the young men was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of the Lord. But Samuel ministered before the Lord, being a child, girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his mother made him a little coat and brought it to him from year to year, when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife, and said, The Lord give thee seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their own home, and the Lord visited Hannah, so that she conceived, and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his son did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the woman that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he said unto them, Why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. Nay, my sons, for it is not good report that I hear ye make the Lord's people to transgress. If one man sins against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. And the child Samuel grew on, and was in a favor both with the Lord and also with men. And there came a man of God unto Eli, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Did I plainly appear unto the house of my father when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And I did choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer upon my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me. And did I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel? Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifice and at mine offering, which I have commanded in my habitation, and honorest thy sons above me, to make yourselves fat with the chiefest of all the offerings of Israel my people. Wherefore the God of Israel saith, I said indeed that thy house and the house of thy father should walk before me forever. But now the Lord saith, Be it far from me, for them that honor me I will honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold, the days come that I have cut off thine arm and the arm of thy father's house, and shall not be an old man in thine house. And thou shalt see an enemy in my habitation, in all the wealth which God shall give Israel, and there shall not be an old man in thine house forever. And the man of thy whom I shall not cut off from my altar shall be to consume thine eyes, and to grieve thy heart, that all the increase of thine house shall die in the flower of their age. And this shall be a sign unto thee that shall come upon thy two sons of Hophni and Phinehas, and one day they shall die both of them. And I will raise me up a faithful priest that shall do according to that which is in mine heart and in my mind, and I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before mine anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left in thine house shall come and crouch to him for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread, and shall say, Put me, I pray thee, into one of the priest offices, that I may eat a piece of bread. Chapter 3. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open visions. And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in a place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. And ere the lamp of the God went out into the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep, that the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here I am. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not, lie down again. And he went and lay down. And the Lord called yet again Samuel, and Samuel rose and went to Eli and said, There am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son, lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again, and the third time, and he arose and went to Eli, and said, Here I am, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place, and the Lord came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel in which both the ears of every one that heareth it shall tingle in the day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice nor offering forever. And Samuel lay until the morning, and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel feared to show Eli the vision. Then Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, Here am I. And he said, What is the thing that the Lord has said unto thee? I pray thee, hide it not from me. God do so to thee, and more also, if thou hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto thee. And Samuel told him everything, and hid nothing from him. And he said, It is the Lord, let him do what seemeth him good. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did not let none of his words fall to the ground. And all Israel from Dan even to Beersheba knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord. And the Lord appeared again in Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord. And the Lord of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle, and pitched beside Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel, and when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore hath the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shouting, said, What meaneth the noise of the great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord was come into the camp, and the Philistines were afraid. For they said, God is come into the camp. And they said, Woe unto us, for there hath not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us, who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and quiet yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrew, as they have been to you. Quiet yourselves like men and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man into his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. And the ark of the God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came, lo, Eli sat up on a seat by a wayside, watching for his heart, trembling for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city, and told it, all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this turmoil? And the man came in hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim. He could not see. And the man said unto him, Eli, I am he that came out of the army, and I fled today out of the army. And he said, What is there done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines, and there have been also a great slaughter among the people. And thy two sons also are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made a mention of the ark of God, he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake, and he died. For he was an old man and heavy, and he had judged Israel 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas, wife, was with child near to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings that the ark of the God was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and travailed, for their pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the woman that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ishadod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel. Because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of the God is taken. And the Philistines took the ark of the God, and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of the God, they brought it into the house of Dagon, set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the Lord, to the earth, before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon was fallen up on his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold. Only the stump of Dagon was left to him. Therefore neither the priest of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on that threshold of Dagon in Ashdod until this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them of Ashdod, and he had destroyed them and smote them in Emerods, ever Ashdod, and the coast thereof. When the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said that the ark of the God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hands is sore upon us and upon Dagon our God. They sent therefore and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, What shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel? And they answered, Let the ark of the God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of the God of Israel about thither. And it was so that after that they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with a very great destruction. And he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had emerods in their secret parts. Therefore they sent the ark of God to Ekron. And it came to pass, as the ark of God came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, They have brought about the ark of the God of Israel to us, to slay us and our people. So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines, and said, Send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it go again to his own place. It slay us not and our people, for there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of God was very heavy there, and the men that died not were smitten with the emerods, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. And it showed everything that's godly sent, godly built, or God said to be builded, or built for Him, or built in the name of Him. It always got some kind of power. He puts things on this world for us that that we can use to protect ourselves. That's why He sent the Holy Spirit years later after this. I mean, David is the bloodline of Jesus Christ. David the king, King David, his bloodline is where Jesus came from. Joseph, his father, his earthly father, was of Joseph, it was of David's descent. I don't know how many years, probably quite a while back, but you know, talking about the prophets. They were a lot of them were born to be born and sent into prophecy at the start. They were raised by a prophet. And Saul was one of the one of the good men of the of that time, but they were also getting ready to seek a king. They had not crowned a king yet. They had not even thought about a king, because God was supposed to be the King of Kings. He should have been the king of the world, and they wanted a king to fight their battles for them. And Saul did eventually tell them, you're gonna have to give them everything you got to protect you. He's got to run that kingdom. He's got to have the food to feed his soldiers. He's got to have wine. He's got to have He'll take your brothers and sisters and use them in war. Brothers and sisters for your cooks and your maid servants, and and it tells about it in here. And the ark of the Lord was in the country of the Philistines 7 months, and the Philistine called for the priest and the diviners, saying, "That shall we do to the ark of the Lord? Tell us wherewith we shall send it to his place." And they said, "If ye send away the ark of the God of Israel, send it not empty, but any wise return him a trespass offering, then ye shall be healed, and it shall be known to you why his hand is not removed from you." Then said, "What shall be the trespass offering which we shall return to him?" They answered, 5 golden emerods and 5 golden mice, according to the number of the lords of the Philistines, for one plague was on you all and on your lords. Wherefore ye shall make images of your emerods and images of your mice, that mar the land, and ye shall give glory unto the God of Israel. Peradventure he will lighten his hand from off of you, and from off your gods, and from off your land. Wherefore then do ye harden your hearts, as the Egyptians and Pharaohs hardened their hearts? When he had wrought wonderfully among them, did they not let the people go, and they departed? Now therefore make a new cart, and take 2 milch kine, on which there hath come no yoke, and tie the kine to the cart, and bring their calves home from them. And take the ark of the Lord, and take it and lay it upon the cart, and put the jewels of gold which ye returned him for a trespass offering, and a coffer by the side thereof, and send it away that it may go, and see if it goeth up by the way of his own coast to Bethshemesh. Then he hath done us this great evil. But if not, then we shall know that it is not his hand that smote us, it was a chance that happened to us. And the men did so, and took 2 milch kine, and tied them to the cart, and shut up their calves at home. And they laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and the coffer with the mice of gold, and the images of their emerods. And the kine took the straight way to the way of Bethshemesh, and went along the highway, lowing as they went, and turned not aside to the spirit hand or to the left. And to the lords of the Philistines went later them unto the border of Bethshemesh. And they of Bethshemesh were reaping their wheat, harvesting in the valley. And they lifted up their eyes, and saw the ark, and rejoiced to see it. And the cart came into the field of Joshua, a Bethlehemite, and stood there where there was a great stone, and they clave the wood for the cart, and covered the kine, a burnt offering unto the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord, and the coffer that was with it, wherein the jewels of gold were, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Bethshemesh offered burnt offerings, and sacrifices the same day unto the Lord. And when the 5 lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron the same day. And these are the golden emerods which Philistines returned for a trespass offering unto the Lord. For Ashdod, 1 for Gaza, 1 for Ashelon, and 1 for Gath, 1 for Ekron, 1 in the golden mice, according to the number of all the cities of the Philistines. belonging to the 5 lords, both of fenced cities and of country villages, even unto the great stone of Abel, whereon they set down the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day in the field of Joshua the Beshemite. And he smote the men of Bethshemesh because they had looked into the ark of the Lord. Even he smote of the people 50,000 and 70 men. And the people lamented because the Lord had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter. And the men of Beth Shemesh said, Who is able to stand before this holy Lord God, and to whom shall he go up from us? And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirjathjearim, saying, The Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord. Come ye down and fetch it up to you. And the men of Kirjathjearim came and fetched up the ark of the Lord, and brought it into the house of the Abinadab in the hill, and sanctified Eleazar his son to keep the ark of the Lord. And it came to pass, while the ark abode in Kirjathjearim, that time was long, for it was 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. And Samuel spake unto the house of Israel, saying, If ye do return unto the Lord with all your heart, and put away the strange gods and Ashtaroth and from among you, and prepare your hearts unto the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the children of Israel did put away Balaam and Ashtaroth, and served the Lord only. And Samuel said, Gather all Israel, Mizpeh, and I will pray for you until the Lord. And they gathered together to Mizpeh, and drew water, and poured it out before the Lord, and fasted on that day, and said, There we have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel of Mizpeh. And when the Philistines heard that the children of Israel were gathered together to Mizpeh, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel. And when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. And the children of Israel said to Samuel, Cease not to cry unto the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hand of the Philistines. And Samuel took a sucking lamb, and offered it for a burnt offering wholly unto the Lord. And Samuel cried unto the Lord for Israel, and the Lord heard him. And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on the day upon the Philistines, and discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel. And the men of Israel went out of Mizpeh, and pursued the Philistines, smote them until they came under Bethkar. And Samuel took a stone, and set it between Mizpah and Shen, and called the name of it Ebenezer, saying, Here hitherto hath the Lord helped us. So the Philistines were subdued, and they came no more unto the coast of Israel. And the land of the Lord was against the Philistines all the days of Samuel. And the cities which the Philistines had taken from Israel were restored to Israel, from Ekron even unto Gath. And the coast thereof did Israel deliver out of the hands of the Philistines. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. And Samuel judged Israel all the days of his life. And he went from year to year in a circuit to Bethel, and Gilgal and Mizpeh, and judged Israel in all those places. And his return was to Ramah, for there was his house, and there he judged Israel, and there he built an altar unto the Lord. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his son judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second son Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord, and the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me, and served other gods, so do they also unto thee. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit that yet protest solemnly unto them. Show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people, and asked of him a king. And asked of him a king. And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots, and he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war. And instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed and of your vineyard, and give it to its officers and to his servants. And he will take your manservants and your maidservants and your goodliest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and he shall be his servant, and ye shall be his servants. And ye shall cry out in that day, because your king which ye shall have chosen you, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, Nay, but we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us, and go out before us, and fight our battles. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, Hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, Go ye every man unto his city. Now there was a man of Benjamin, whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zerah, the son of Bechorah, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man and a goodly and goodly, and there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. From his shoulders upwards he was higher than any of the people. And the asses of Kish, Saul's father, were lost, and Kish said to Saul his son, take now one of the servants with thee, arise and go seek the asses. And he passed through Mount Ephraim and through the land of Shalisha, but they found him not. Then they passed through the land of Shalom, and there they were not. And he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they found them not. And when they were come to the land of Suph, Saul said to his servant that was with him, come, let us return, lest my father leave caring for the asses, and take thought for us. And he said unto him, behold, now there is in this city a man of God, and he is an honorable man. All that he saith cometh surely to pass. Now let us go thither, peradventure he can show us our way, and we should go. Then said Saul to his servant, but behold, I will be go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spent in our vessels, and there is not a present to bring to a man of God. What have we? And the servant answered Saul again and said, behold, I have here at hand a fourth part of a shekel of silver that I will give to the man of God to tell us our way. Before time in Israel, when men went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer, for he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. Then said Saul to his servant, well said, come, let us go. So they went unto the city where the man of God was, and they went up the hill to the city. They found young maidens going out to draw water, and said unto them, is the seer here? And they answered them and said, behold, he is before you, make haste. Now he came today to the city, for there is a sacrifice of the people today in the high place. As soon as ye be come into the city, ye shall straightway find him, before he go up to the high place to eat, for the people will not eat until he come, because he doth bless the sacrifice, and afterwards they eat that be bidden. Now therefore get you up, for about this time ye shall find him. And they went up into the city, and when they were come into the city, behold, Samuel came out against them for to go up to the high place. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear a day before Saul came, saying, tomorrow about this time I will send thee a man out of the land of Benjamin, and thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Israel, that he may save my people out of the hand of the Philistines. For I have looked upon my people, because their cry is come unto me. And when Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said unto him, behold, the man whom I spake of thee of, this same shall reign over my people. Then Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate and said, tell me, I pray thee, where the seer's house is. And Samuel answered Saul and said, I am the seer. Go up before me into the high place, for ye shall eat with me today and tomorrow, and I will let thee go, and I will tell thee all that is in thy heart. And as for thine asses that were lost 3 days ago, set not thy mind on them, for they are found, and on whom is all the desire of Israel. Is it not on thee and on all thy father's house? And Saul answered and said, Am not I a Benjamite of a smallest of the tribes of Israel? And my family the least of all the families of the tribes of Benjamin? Wherefore then speakest thou so to then speakest thou so to me? And Samuel took Saul and his servant and brought them into the parlor, and made them sit in the chiefest place among them that were bidden, which were about 30 persons. And Samuel said unto the cook, Bring the portion which I have gave thee. Which I said unto thee, set it by thee. And the cook took up the shoulder which was upon it, and set it before Saul. And Samuel said, Before that which is left, set it before thee, and eat, for unto this time hath it been kept for thee, since I said I have invited the people. So Saul did eat with Samuel that day. And then they were come down from the high place into the city. Samuel communed with Saul upon the top of the house. And they rose early, and it came to pass about the spring of the day that Samuel called Saul to the top of the house, saying, Up, that I may send thee away. And Saul rose, and they went out, both of them, he and Samuel, abroad. And as they were going down to the end of the city, Samuel said to Saul, Bid the servant pass on before us. And he passed on. But stand thou still a while, that I may show thee the word of God. I know this is a long one, and maybe a quieter one. I don't know. But I know that God had no plans for us to ever have kings, queens, or anything like that. He had planned on being the only king we ever needed. We were supposed to depend on him. He was going to be the ones that fought our battles. And just because prophets' sons weren't good enough for the people, they became they demanded a king, and basically hurt God, because God was supposed to be the King of Kings. He is the King of Kings, but he was supposed to be the king, and he was the one that was supposed to take care of everybody. I mean, he does that now. I mean, don't get me wrong, but back then, why would you need a king? I don't need a king. I don't need a president, because I know that I need to obey the law and everything, but I also know that there wouldn't be no way I could live under kingship. I can barely live under presidency. We had other leaders besides the presidents enlisted before. We were actually kind of governed like England there for a little while. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to let you know that, that's where we started in kingship. Saul was first king. He committed suicide. Um, I don't know why yet. I haven't read that far. I'm going to keep preaching on it day by day. We'll just follow the story. Um, I still, a lot of answers I can't give you. I have to read up on it. That's why I look at my ministry the night before and seek what I'm going to preach the next day, because I have to I have to give y'all something to teach y'all something. I know there's people out there that don't care much for preachers and stuff, but it'd help out if you just y'all would subscribe to the channel, because if I could get 50 subscribers, I can go live. I want to give a shout out to all my brothers, to my fathers, and to my sisters out there. I want to give a shout out to my wife. She watches every one of my television, one of my my sermons. Uh, Lord, let's pray. Let's pray that we can just do the will of God each day. Stay on point for the Lord. Do what He asks us to do. I'm doing what I'm doing for the Lord, and there's other people out there doing what they feel they should be doing for the Lord. And I ask that you help us to strengthen this channel, and that people would subscribe. We got a lot of learning to do about the Bible, and knowing that at first God didn't want us to have a king, because He was going to be the king. He was going to be the king. He was going to take care of us. He's going to give us everything we ever needed. Decided they needed a king because of Saul's sons. They were scared they was going to ruin everything. Lord, I ask that you keep the wrenches out of our gears. I ask that you be with those people that I said shout outs to, and let anybody out there that feels like nobody loves them, pop it in their head, hey, God loves you. God loves you. Lord, just give us the strength to continue to do in God's will. I minister anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week, and that's my main objective. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing for the Lord. I'm trying to get God and Jesus in the folks' heart, because I don't want to see nobody go to. I want to see everybody in heaven. I actually pray for my uncle. You know what I'm talking about, Lord. You know what I need you to do for him. Lord, I used to be with my mom. I don't know how things are going to go on with that, but I ask that. I used to be with my daughter, my son, and I used to be with my grandmother and my Uncle Philip, and both my dads, my half brother, my step brothers. Got two dads. I got brothers and sisters on one side and brother and sister on the other side. Uh, I thank you for what you've done for me this year. Thank you. I thank you for putting me out here trying to try to save some souls, trying to bring people to Christ, remind them that you love you Jesus Christ loves them so very much that it doesn't matter who else doesn't love you. I ask that you just forgive those that have done some pretty bad things. Help them to lead them straight into the right direction. I don't know what you're going to do about my mom, but you do what you got to do. Lord, let's always have you keep us doing your will. I don't want to do anything that's not your will. I want to live my life for you. Be with these people that are watching this, and whatever situation they're in, help them. Help their soul, soothe them, console them, be there for them, because I preach to a lot of people. I preach to the hurt, the not hurt. I preach to everybody. It doesn't matter what color they are. It don't matter what nationality.